Hello, everyone. Welcome to Drumfills Café. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Welcome to another episode of this 11th season. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. As usual, before we start the interview, I would like you to go check out the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok pages of Drumfills Café, to do a like, and of course, to do a subscription to those pages. Also, go check out the website, drumfillscafe.com, to check out all the past seasons, what's happening with this 11 seasons, all the past interview. Go check it out, drumfillscafe.com. So I'm fairly excited about tonight's interview because it's someone I've been sort of following for a couple months so, and very excited to talk with him tonight. He's considered one of the most creative drummers in Brazil and has a career spanning for more than 25 years, of which he's released solo albums, renowned drum methods, participated in numerous CDs and DVD recordings, teaches classes and workshops around the world, and accompanies artists such as Luiza, Possi, Aline, Barros, and Falamansa. He has another innovative drummer that stated this: Ramon is someone that is a true master of the drums. His musicality, creativity continues to push the art of drumming forward. His exploration for technical innovation is absolutely wonderful. That was Johnny Rab, another innovative drummer. Please welcome the incredibly musical Mr. Ramon Montagner.
Everyone.
Hello, Ramon.
Dennis, thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here and to share some ideas with you guys.
Well, thank you for accepting. Thank you. And of course, you're not in Canada. You're currently in Brazil.
Yeah,
which I'm sure the weather is much better than in Canada.
Yeah, it's very hot here. It's very hot today.
How hot is it? I'm curious, because here in Canada, we've just been hit by one of the biggest snowstorms in the past.
Here is now exactly. Let me check here in the Google. We are 23 Celsius degree, but now it's 8 and 10 of night. So during the day it was almost 30 degrees Celsius degrees. Wow. We are in the summer here, very hot.
Well, I envy you. Well, thank you so much for coming, Ramon. Like I said, I've been following you for a couple of months now that I've sort of found out by your friend Alex, and of course what you were doing with the push and pull and everything, but also by the music you were making, because you do a lot of Brazilian music, of course. But I just wanted to touch base. So how did it start for you? How was music grabbed you and decided that this is what you wanted to do with your life? I'm curious.
Yes, I started. Now I'm 45 and I'm 50 tomorrow.
Oh wow! Happy birthday!
24 of February. So I'm getting old. So I started.
50 is a new 40. It's okay.
I started with 12 years old in Campinas. Campinas is a city 900 kilometers from São Paulo. I live in São Paulo, capital here. And I started with 12 years old playing guitar. I studied guitar for 6 months, and sometime a friend came to me and showed me some snare drum with a stand and a hi-hat, just it. And I fall in love with the drums and start to study since this time. And my grandfather was a saxophone player. Played in some bands, but I never see him playing. But my mom and my father always loved music and listened to the music all the time. And because of this, I start to buy the records and start to listen and dreaming to be a musician at that time. And I think I got it.
I think so too. So I'm curious, what is it that you were listening to when you were 12 years old as a teenager? I imagine, of course, there is Brazilian music, but of course there must be pop music, and I'm wondering if the North American music is also available down in Brazil.
Yes. I started to listen to heavy metal. Iron Maiden, Accept, Judas Priest, Metallica, all that stuff. And some 2 years after, I had to play in the nightclubs with a band. And from this time forward,
Yeah.
I started to listen more about Brazilian rhythms and discovered all the treasure we have here.
Mhm.
And I still love Iron Maiden and a lot of rock and roll bands, but
Yes.
I started to understand more our culture and, and go deeply.
So what are the bands you were listening to back then that are sort of Brazilian based that you would recommend maybe to someone to discover?
Yeah, I discovered some trios, Djavan, jazz trios as how can I say that trio. I'm not so good with names, but there's a lot of jazz trios that I started to listen,
Okay.
and Milton Nascimento, Djavan, and João Bosco, all the Brazilian composers. I
Hmm.
started to listen a lot of Brazilian drummers at this time, such as uh, Carlos Bala, Evelton Silva, Celso de Almeida,
Okay.
and Milton Banana, Edson Machado.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And those were like the stars of that music, I imagine, back then.
Yes, yes. I started to listen to heavy metal, but since I started to listen Brazilian music, I discovered Brazilian music and jazz at the same time. So I
Okay.
started to listen to Tony Williams, all that Buddy Rich, all that guys at the same time. But I
Mhm.
played much more Brazilian rhythms in the nightclubs. I had to play dance music in the nightclubs, so I started to go deep in this style.
So did you start to play professionally kind of early? Was you in your teens? In your
Yes,
20s?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I start to play profession in the night in the nights in Campinas, the city where I was born, playing Brazilian rhythms. I play first professionally Brazilian rhythms, then rock and roll.
Okay.
I just had some bands and start to play this kind of style, but in 1 year when when I was 13 or 13, almost 14, I started playing the nightclubs and
Oh wow.
professionally playing the red zone areas,
Okay.
playing the regular nightclubs and played a lot at this time.
And as a 14-year-old, you could get in, or was that a little?
Yes, I had to. I had to hide a little bit, and people say if you see some different movements from some police guys and policemen, just go to the bathroom and stay there. was this was my beginning, but and I played almost a year in this type of red zone red light jazz nightclub,
Okay.
and but I played in the regular ones also.
Okay. Nice. So you started early. That's nice. That's a good
Yeah,
experience for a young kid, because most of us, we play in our basements, and then eventually, you play with
yeah,
your friends and
yes.
that sort of thing. So that must have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah. This
And
was a great advantage to me as a young kid playing with professional guys much older than me, and I had to learn fast how to proceed, how
yeah,
to play less and play straight and
yeah. Were they
that type
patient
of
with
stuff.
you, or did you were they patient with you to teach all that stuff? They
Yeah,
were like very hard, or
no, sometimes they were hard. I'll say stay at the time about procedures as a professional.
yeah.
Stay at the time. Put a better clothes
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
but music. Yeah, but music. Thinking music about uh, musicianship was a good school for me also.
Very
They
nice.
they gave me a lot of good tips and put me
On the right path.
on the road
Yeah.
on
And
the grid.
sometimes that's the best school, honestly, because
Yeah,
sometimes some of us go to school, if you will, to go
yeah,
study, but nothing beats experience with, the
yeah,
people that actually play the music. Yeah, let's imagine.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
That's
when
the
did
best
you?
school for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Was one of those artists, because I hope I'm correct, but I think in your bio it said that you started to play with Johnny
Sorry.
Half, who is one of the fathers of bossa nova, apparently.
Yeah, Johnny Off. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I started to play with Johnny Off when I was 17 to 18 years old.
Okay.
He played in Campinas with a bass player, a friend of mine. That was a friend of mine, and when he did this show, I played with a trio before his show.
I see.
That was with a quartet or was a trio, and he saw me, and sometime after asked to the bass player if he could invite me to play. And I say of course, and it was a good school for me for sure.
Yeah, because I found out a bit about him through your website, through your bio, and I didn't know he was such an important figure of bossa nova, the pianist that was so important to bossa nova.
Yeah, he influenced Tom Jobim. All the guys used to saw him playing in Rio de Janeiro at that time.
Yeah,
50 something on the 50s. They used to go to some hotel where he used to play, and because he was a kind of innovator, thinking harmonically, he started to create some samba canção, some sort to samba songs, but with a huge harmony and improvising a little bit, some scats, and people love this, and this type of influence became what they call bossa nova. They start to play, but bossa nova was a little bit soft, more softer than style that Johnny Offs played. Johnny Off played more jazzy stuff. It's considering bossa nova, but was more open, more jazzy than the Tom Jobim and other guys that were more how can I say, more
free, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice. I'm gonna have to go check him out more, because, like I said, I just discovered him this past week, and I'm curious to know, because of course everybody knows, Getz Gilberto and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to know the other guys. And how was that experience with him, playing with him?
Yeah, it was amazing. I started to play with him, trying to be a Devo Echo. So
sorry.
And his sound was more about jazz stuff and the 50s bebop or cool jazz, and I get the gig playing double bass pedal, mini China, 2 hi-hats, a lot of chops, and he was patient with me. So in some months, 1 year, I start. Oh no, sorry, this is more about jazz than fusion, and I start to understand better the style. And he was very patient.
It
was a huge school.
So you get there with a big kit, basically.
Yeah. A lot of cymbals, a lot of one crash and one splash inverted. China on the left. Sometime after, sorry, forgive me, and I start to play more jazzy, more relaxed.
So less Terabasio, more
Ramon. Less Terabasio, for sure.
Cool. And when did it start for you to play with other people, such as Luiza Possi?
Luiza, I started to play with Luiza in the 2006, I think. Yes, I started because she used to play with a drummer, a regular drummer in the beginning. Sometime after, she requested his producer, that Bruno Copinis, that's my friend, to a guy that plays percussion and drum set. So he invited me, and I entered the gig playing the cajon, the conga, and all the percussion instrument added as a plus drums.
I see.
And I started to do this kind of hybrid kit with Luiza Possi. I used to play for me, and I had a duet called Brazilian Duet. We recorded a video cassette that time, and did a lot of master classes here in Brazil. Was a duet playing with a lot of percussions, playing drum pieces. We created drum pieces. I can send you some links after.
Okay.
But after this,
Is this the educational with another Alexander, the Brazilian duet?
Yeah, Brazilian duet, exactly.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
This was my one of my first connections with the percussion as a hybrid set.
Okay.
And after this, some years after, I think 5 or 6 years after, Bruno Copini invited me to enter the Luiza Possi gig, and I started to play this kind of stuff in a pop music, trying to adapt, simplifying some things, and doing more on the grid, more straight. And I've been playing. I still play with her.
Oh, yes.
Nowadays we do less shows, and but I can keep this gig and keep the Falamansa band and some recordings. My trips to different countries. I think I'm a good how can I say, I don't know how to say it, but I have good connections with all the artists, and can keep the gigs and sending some subs to the gigs. And
I see.
Fortunately, I can keep this and still do my stuffs.
Because Luiza is more pop culture, is more popular singer over there.
Yeah.
And how is that switched to something that's more pop, very big and very a lot of people watching and all that stuff?
Yes, I always love to play pop music, and I was dreaming to play more pop stuff with a good grip and play hard. Mm-hmm. I was dreaming to play a gig like this at that time, and when he invited me, I loved the idea, and kept the gig with Johnny Alf for some years.
Okay.
At some point, the producer told me it's impossible to send too much subs in the Johnny Alf gig, and I prefer to play that time with Luiza Possi because the money, the payment was better, and I needed to get married, to do some stuff, and I prefer to go there. But it was a good school again.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I saw a couple of videos from your website. It's very nice, very nice stuff. Good band, very good band. Yeah,
up stuff.
Yeah. Very nice. So I invite people to go check it out with Ramon playing with Luiza Possi.
Yeah,
and the one that I saw was Azul, which is very catchy.
Very nice. Azul is a song by Djavan, and we record this song Azul first time in a TV show that was a type of all the program. This program we first recorded was a type of a program that was a kind of show that is very normal in Europe and USA. And USA, one guy with 5 artists playing some songs and changing the camera, and is a round space.
Okay. I think yeah.
And this was the first time we recorded this song, and I recorded this song some time ago through a podcast here, doing podcast, and recorded a version, updated version of this.
Okay, of that, yeah.
Was nice.
Okay. I invite people to go check it out. You can see Ramon play that. That's very nice. And then I saw also with Aline Barros. Talk to me about that artist. And I'm asking about because I personally want to know more, and I'm sure other people want to know more. So that's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah, Aline Barros is one of maybe the most famous singer, gospel singer here in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
And nice. I recorded a long time ago, I think 20 years ago, I recorded a DVD with her and some couple CDs, and he is a very famous gospel singer here.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do too much shows with her, just some big shows here in São Paulo, and just record, because that time I was playing with Johnny Alf and with and she's from Rio de Janeiro. I live in São Paulo, but for some time I used to went to Rio to record with his producer some different productions, different CDs. But that time was I, uh, I recorded some CDs with her and did some shows, just some shows, not too much. But till nowadays, some people, when they know that Aline Barros is going to his state, so different state, they send me a message. Hey, Ramon, are we going to play with Aline here in Manaus? And can I talk to you? No. I just did some for some years in the 20 years ago, but she is very very famous, and till nowadays people see some videos and send me some messages.
Okay.
But it's very pop rock gospel stuff.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Style,
yeah, that's what I saw. But it seemed very popular. It seemed to grab a lot of people's attention. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And also, I think Falamansa is who I saw the groups you were playing with, and that's a totally different sort of genre of music. It's more of a sort of reggae pop style.
Yes, Falamansa is a band that plays Northeast Brazilian rhythms, basically. But on his last DVD we recorded last year, he turned it some shot. Shot is a rhythm that people play in the Northeast. That's is a slow kind of baião, if we can say. And people love to dance this style, and they are very famous till nowadays. They exploded here in Brazil in the 2003 2004.
Okay,
there was a huge succeeded band here.
Yeah,
but nowadays they moved to more to reggae pop style, but still play that some shot, some baião, some rastapé, some maracatu. Is a Brazilian band. Is a quartet. The artist is a quartet. The singer, the zabumba player, the triangle player, and the accordion player.
Okay.
And I am I'm a part of the band that's more for musicians, and they do a lot of trips during the year and go outside Brazil. But it's more Brazilian stuff. This last CD was more about reggae.
Reggae stuff. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So it's so they do have the Brazilian style, but also mixed with the other pop.
Yeah. Nowadays this kind of stuff.
And that must be a fun gig. That must be a fun show to play.
Yeah, that's the scenario is very beautiful, and they're always crowded, always sold out. People dance and sing. Till nowadays, they have a lot of hits that people sing. Even nowadays, all the shows people sing from the beginning to the end of the show. It's very nice. It's a very nice gig. We are doing. I've been playing with them for 7 years this year.
Nice, congratulations.
It's a good gig, and I keep this gig with the Falamansa, Luiza, and all this stuff, and they agreed to me to send a substitute. So this is
nice. That's all you can ask for, really, is have those contacts where you can trust and go to play, and then
this is important too, because here in Brazil it's hard to have just one artist, and if you play just with one artist, you almost can't play your bills, so you have to play a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, is a very big country, and very so São Paulo now. All the São Paulo area, we have 22 millions of people.
Wow.
Here. Just São Paulo is 90 million people.
Wow.
Just the city. So it's a very big city. And there's a lot of nightclubs, a lot of space to play. But the payments are not so good, so you have to play a lot.
Okay.
Lessons and all this stuff.
That's crazy, because in Canada we're 40 million for the entire country, so that gives you an idea how much so many little people we have in Canada compared to Brazil. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. São Paulo is the biggest state in terms of population here. I think Rio de Janeiro also, and Minas Gerais, but São Paulo is the biggest one.
It's the biggest
one. financial center of the country. So there's
Okay.
more money moving in the
Okay.
state.
Okay. So it's like everywhere else, like in Canada, the States, you have to play with different artists just to be
Yeah,
able to yeah. So it's
yeah,
the
this is
same over
our
there.
reality. Yeah,
Yeah. Very nice. I imagine because there's more population, there's more festivals, there's more I mean the summer is very busy. You've got places to tour and everything. Like you're
yeah.
busy every tour, every summer, I imagine.
Yes, in summer also, but this band because Brazil the seasons are not too much separated.
Okay.
So now is summer. In June and July, there's a party, a festivity here called São João party. São João is a saint, and people used to play a lot the type of rhythms that Falamansa play.
Okay.
There's a huge festivity in Northeast Brazil, but not just there. In all the Brazil in June and July, there's a lot of shows and festivals. So I used to play very much here in winter. That's June and July
Mm.
with this band. But even in summer, there's always we have shows all the year. There's not a in winter here is not a problem because our winter is
Yeah, it's not here like here.
it's not a real winter. The Brazilian winter is 10 degrees.
Yeah, yeah,
Eight is too cold, but so
yeah.
but the summer is very hot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stop you there because there's a lot of Canadians going, I want to go to Brazil right now. Fantastic. Besides working for an artist, you do your own solo projects. I checked
Yeah.
out some of your solo projects. Talk to me about the importance of making your own records. I imagine it's for you to be creative, to be able to do the music you want.
Yeah. Yes, I started with my projects in the year of my first record was the year of 2000. I think it was 2000. My first solo album, and I invited some friends, and I did this as was my first CD. So I invited different gigs to play. Each one played 2 songs, and we created in a group. There are some compositions from friends, but we did some rehearsals and create the arrangement and record. But what's important to me doing this because I since I was in the year of 2000, I was 25 years old. I sought to since this time I decided to have my own career as a band leader and do my books, do my stuff, and was important for sure. I don't recommend in general people to people ask me playing 2 years or 3 years of practicing of playing, and I need to do my CDs, my solo CD. No, take care, slow down, practice more. But at this time, I was playing professionally for some time, and I decided to do, and it was very important. This was my first CD, Boya was my first CD. The second CD was 2007. It was Samba Só. My first CD was Brazilian, but I still wanted to play as DFK or Denis. I was more focused as a young musician. I love DFK and Denis. They are great masters of all times. But at that time, I was very influenced by them. And the second one, I started to get a little bit more mature and do a samba só. It was more Brazilian, more the samba jazz style. And 2012, I did one CD that was a different CD. It was a temporal. What was my third CD? It was a kind of because some friend gave me some hours in the studio and say record whatever you want. So I just invite some people at that time, and we record some more pop stuff, more fusion again. And Moldura dos Pés was my fourth CD in 2017, I think.
Okay.
And this was my more major as a musician. So I did with the same band and we create some stuff. There was one composition of mine. That's the name of the CD. Moldura dos Pés is a one song, one theme by me.
Okay.
And some last year I recorded some EPs with some friends. But now I reconnected with the trio, and we just started a new trio now, and we record this in the next month.
Oh, nice. So there's probably a new CD coming up.
Yeah, for sure. In the second semester, we'll be releasing.
Nice. Well, I invite people to go check it out. I checked out a few. Moldura dos Pés. I hope I say that correctly. That was very nice. That sounded very, very nice. And nice, nice jazzy Brazilian stuff that was there. That was very nice. Yeah. It's all available on Ramon's website, by the way, if you're interested. But it sounds amazing, and it's nice. It's it's not we're not a bitches brew with Miles Davis. It's more
more calm, more relaxed.
More calm, relaxed. Nice, nice dinner music. Nice jazzy stuff. Very open, very nice. Actually, I really like that. Actually, so yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right. And of course, besides doing your creative stuff, of course, you're getting a lot of attention these past few years because you do a lot of educational stuff.
Yes.
And I think most of us, especially in North America, anyways, are starting to notice you because of stuff you do with Alex Cohen, or the stuff that you did at the Drumeo and stuff with Drum Channel with Thomas Lang and all that stuff. And you're getting a lot of attention for push and pull and all these techniques. And I'm curious, before we start to delve into all of that, is it a natural progression for you to go to this whole pushing the boundary of push and pull because of the music you play, or is it something you were just exploring? I'm just curious. How did you become to touch on this technique?
Yes, about push pull is a speed is not just a speed technique, but with push pull you can play very fast if you practice. But I started to think about it because we used to play medium to fast sambas in the nightclub. Since I started, I had to play
the fast 16s
and we used to play 16 notes just with the wrist and don't using too much the fingers. But at some time I realized that I could, from open close stuff, I learned from my teacher. My teacher, Lilian Carmona, is a lady that teaches to a lot of professional guys here.
Oh, nice.
And he told me about open close stuff, and I thought, why not to shorten the movement and try to play this kind of medium to fast samba. So I realized that it was possible, and because of the samba, because of playing medium to fast sambas, I started to study and to develop my way of push pull. And
because here in North America, I mean, the classic thing we're taught here is that ting 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 ting, those three notes, and you're like, and then you go study with a real Brazilian person. He's like, we don't do that ting 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 ting. We do that, the continuous 16 thing. And I started to, like I said to you before we started the interview, I'm starting to delve more and more in Brazilian music because I think it's just beautiful music and amazing, happy music. And that's when I discovered, okay, this is the tick tick tick, those fast 16s. And I was wondering if that's how you decided to develop more and more. But that's
for sure. Was because of this 16 notes medium to fast sambas. And after this, I realized that it could be used in a different styles. That because I've been playing different styles, pop stuff and some reggae, some.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah,
even jazz. So it could be considered a extended hand technique, a different technique that can be used in whatever style you want. So because of this, I started to organize the studies and did this book. That was my first book. My first book, just organizing
you
stuff.
can backtrack. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My first book was a book that I did with a bass player. He is drums and bass in Brazilian rhythms. It was a book about rhythm session, precisely bass and drums, and we teach it on this book about this style. Thinking on funkifying the clave, we have this reference in mind and created this bass and drums in Brazilian. Do you know that funkifying the
clave? Yes,
Lincoln Goines and
yes, yeah. I have it downstairs. It's
This was a very nice book that we studied here over there in Campinas, me and my friend at the time.
Yeah,
and we tried to do a book on these terms and trying to transfer to the Brazilian music. And this was the first book about bass and drums in Brazilian rhythms. But I don't have my copy here. Is out of
okay. But what's that? Can you say the title, so just so we know what the title is?
There's the name in Brazilian, in Portuguese, is Bateria e Contrabaixo na Música Brasileira. So drums and bass in Brazil. There's not a translation there. But we try to do the translation, but the editing house didn't want to. Keep it. So is out of how can I say? It's out of print.
It's not available.
Out of print. It's not available.
Okay.
But my first book after this was this book that is about is a book about coordination. Brazilian. I think that's the book you have. It's a rhythm imagination. It's a series. It's a book series. I started with this coordination stuff. On this book, I talked about 5 of the most Brazilian rhythms, most famous Brazilian rhythms. That's samba, baião, maracatu, ijexá, and frevo.
Okay.
And I created some systems following the idea of Alan Dawson and
Gary Chester.
Yeah. And I started, and the first chapter is about this. I created a lot of systems for each one of these rhythms, and suggested 10 pages of readings, starting very simple and going a little bit deep. And on second, third, and fourth and fifth chapters are about 2-voice rhythm, 3-voice rhythm, harmonic coordination, some mix of this, and the last chapter is about 5/4 and 7/8 beats system and rhythms and ideas for these rhythms in 5/4 and 7/8. So it's a very long book. There's a lot of readings to study. I think it's and the book, people love this book outside Brazil. People understand that is a type of Brazilian new breed. People call it this way, and I think it's correct, because I suffer a lot of influence by these guys and just try to transfer to Brazilian rhythms.
Let's show, if you want. I can show a bit of an excerpt for people to see what it is exactly.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
With the magic of the interwebs.
It's very nice. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see if I can find it. Just if you give me a sec.
Okay.
So there you go. So this is for coming back. So this is basically sort of the system itself, like the beats. Not the reading. Yeah. So we'd have here basically your 16, and I'm curious, the symbols on the right side. So that would mean that's your hand playing the 16s. Is that what that means?
Yes. The idea is to read with your left hand. If the symbol of left, read the readings with the left hand on side tick or whatever one. And there are some explanation before the system started. So how to study in the book in the beginning. But the symbols is you keep this with the right hand and bass drum. On hi-hat first, just three voice, hi-hat, bass drum, and read all the readings with the left hand.
The left hand, I see.
The side. But always before I go to the entire page, I suggest to try with each one of the 16 possibilities of subdivisions that I suggested in the beginning of the book. Just try each one of the rhythm figures, playing the system, and after this go to the rhythms on the end of this chapter.
Okay. So if I look here, there's one system, kind of like you were saying, like Gary Chester. There's a system here, and then
Mhm.
here the system is different because you add the hi-hat here with the rhythm for the bass, and then
Yeah,
here when you get to the feet, it's because the hands are playing something, some estanato, but the feet is reading
yeah,
the
yes.
the melody at the end.
Yeah, this column on the right is says with what limb you are read the reading. So
Yeah, yeah.
there are some systems that you read with your left hand, the first six one, and after on the seventh you keep the samba and read with your bass drum. That's a little bit uh, tough in the beginning, but with time you understand that can be and should be a part of the improvisation thing on
Hmm.
samba,
Hmm.
because Brazilian rhythms were not created on drum set. That came from percussion
That's
sessions,
true. That's true.
percussion
Yeah,
ensembles.
yeah.
Because of this, in general, people, this book is, I can say that is a type of disconstruction on how do you study rhythm, Brazilian rhythms, and after you practice all these limbs reading with the left with the right, you reconstruct the rhythm but thinking out more freely, being able to improvise a little bit with the left foot
Mm,
in hi-hat or in some clave that I used to play with two blocks and simulating some agogo ideas. So
mm,
sometimes you can improvise with the bass drum or playing, sometimes playing simultaneously, sometimes playing linearly improvising. That's the idea of the book. Disconstruct a little bit how you study Brazilian rhythms and re- reconstruct it with this ability to play a little bit more freely.
free. Yeah, and not
With,
stuck to always to that ding, 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 ding. You know that
yeah,
classic.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of systems that you can and read with your bass drum or with the
Yeah,
left or all the stuff.
yeah. Very nice. I'm just showing a few of the systems here. I see here at
Mhm,
the second page
mhm.
there's some buzz rolls on the snare.
Yeah, this is a type
Yeah.
of simulating the snare snare drum pattern. So, so
Yeah,
just playing with just with the left,
yeah, very
playing
nice, very
that
nice.
figure.
So there you go. You can go check out Ramon's book called
Hmm.
Rhythmic Imagination.
Yeah.
And the other one that you before, and then we'll go back to we're
Uh
going back to Push and Pull, is
huh.
one you did with your friend Alex Cohen,
Yeah.
who does all the polyrhythmic stuff. If you guys don't know Alex, go check it out. It's just mind-boggling what he does now with his
Yeah.
limbs.
Crazy guy. Crazy
Crazy guy.
guy.
Go check him out. But of course, you guys co-wrote a book together called
Yeah.
Extreme Polyrhythmic Coordination and Speed.
Hmm.
And you and your book on your part of the book, because you're sharing the book together, you have this notation. And what I find interesting about this notation is that it goes to the push pull, because you have your
Yeah.
notation
Push
for
pull
the
and slide. Yeah.
for the push note, for the pull note, for the tap,
Yeah.
and the slide notation, which I've never seen, which I find very interesting.
Yeah. I had to create some ways to explain the technique. So
Yeah,
I I, I, I I think this was okay.
was the best way. Yeah,
Uh,
and then you, of course, we're not going to go through it, but I invite you people to go check it out. But you
mhm.
explain a bit of the evolution of open close, push pull, the
Yeah.
fulcrum, the grip, which we'll do a bit of a demonstration. So,
Hmm.
so you go here, you have all the videos, and then you have some sort of subdivisions and how to do it, basically with the 16ths, with the triplets,
Yeah.
how to play them, and so forth in this book.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
This book an invitation from Alex.
okay,
We knew each other in the internet, just internet, and in 2019 we met in the NAM show, and sometime after he invited me. He said, "I talked with John Bergamini and Rob Wallace, and they said, okay, we can do a book together. So let's do." So I created my exercises, and he created his exercise, and we talked with Joe Bergamini and how could it be
mm,
um, interesting for the students,
hmm,
or how it could be not so complicated because there's a lot of But the idea of the book, Alex told me, let's do a book, try to pushing the boundaries of. So I say I can mix all the stuffs as I'm doing all these years, mixing these three techniques I've been talking about, that's push pull, slide, and do a grip, into the coordination stuffs, and even with the left foot on the blocks. And I created this exercise, and at this time I didn't my book about slide was not ready at this time.
Okay.
So I explained, and how can I say it, for before the book I did a avant premiere. if
Okay.
I don't know the word. I just
you tested out the
yeah,
book.
yes. I tested out the ideas. Yeah, thank you for help me with my
That's
English. Okay. But I tried some ideas over there, and I was finishing or in the process of the book of slide, and I suggested this exercise. And there are videos also. It's an interesting book about this. You can see all the groups recorded.
Yeah, because Ramon on his website also has the lessons. He has the push-pull lessons, of course, that's available. And if that was about what I was got to ask, is in this book you have an icon to go see a video. I mean, I imagine there's a link to a video if you.
Yeah, and the book you can just click and watch the videos. I think that's the procedure.
Okay, very nice. So for those of us who don't know what push-pull is, could you just show very briefly? Because of course there's many videos out there that you do. We don't need to read it. Just quickly, just explain a bit what it is that you're doing. And what I find interesting is that not only that you do the not only don't you do it, but you explored the musicality of it with double sticks and hitting flams at one. And I thought that was brilliant, because sometimes we explore techniques for technique's sake, just to show. But in your case, what I find very interesting, and that's why I said at the intro, is that you explored it for musicality.
Yeah,
and that's what I find very, very cool from you, is that you're looking for musicality from it, and not just like look what I can do sort of thing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's my idea for sure. Definitely is my goal, is to show that these three techniques I've been showing and spreading the idea are for musicality, are for adding some new stuff, or trying to mix with the regular grooves, and could be as tools for playing differently, or trying to be musical at the same time. So this is the book about push-pull. You can find on Amazon. And let me show you a little bit. I will show you with the pad here, and I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for doing this. That's so cool.
So the idea of push-pull for me, I started playing this because I used to play kind of samba, medium to fast, but using more the forearm and wrist, and not how can I say, not using too much the fingers. In the beginning, when I started playing with Johnny Alf, for example, I used to play.
Wow!
But it's more about wrist and arm than fingers. So sometime after, Lilian Carmona, my dear teacher, told me about open close. Of course, and all the audience know.
Yeah.
But sometimes after, I realized that I could play in a short action and playing, putting out the accent and trying to play and make this way of playing musical and efficient. I think on medium to fast samba. So I realized that if I'm using American grip. I'm not too much a French player, neither a German player. I play American, and I used to push the drumstick. By the way, the tip, the arrows up on the notation you see is in relation with the tip.
Okay.
And arrows down is also in relation. All the notation in relation to the tip. Okay. So arrows up is the push. I keep the drumstick on this joint, on the index first joint of index, and on this, and in between these two joints. So I keep this, but I keep all the time the drumstick in contact with the
I see.
fingers.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
And there are some rotation here also. It's not, I don't know if it's okay for you to see.
Yeah.
But I'm not playing exactly at the same time. Sorry, at the same point. There are some rotation here,
I see.
and I started to play like this instead of playing or I try to start the motion pushing. So thinking 4/16 notes. So push pull push pull. Of course, you can start pulling. And after I could play this, I realized that it was important to understand the accents. All the accents in Brazilian rhythms are not. You definitely you can't play a good samba playing very straight.
Yeah. No, that would be boring. Yeah.
This is very important for the rhythm, for the beauty of the rhythm. So I start to play this, but as a professional drummer, that is not just a Brazilian drummer, I saw that I could apply it in a funky or jet with the left, for example.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This type of stuff, and I started to develop all the possibilities that I've been doing with all the stuff I was doing with both hands. I try to adapt just to one hand at a time, but and the flams and some. Some rudiments. So, in the end of the last chapter of the Blue Book that is about push pull, there are almost all the rudiments adapted to this technique. So I try to make this a tool for musicality. For you can apply whatever style you are playing. So this was about push pull, and a basic exercise, if I could suggest, is to play straight 16ths. And mixing with the triplets, and also another good exercise is mixing 3 and 4 and push pull, mixing finger technique with both. You can play slower for sure, just to. And even with the thing on wrist.
Nice.
And the same with the left and the both. So these are our basic exercise, and there's much more ideas on the book. There's a lot of fewing exercises. There are some coordination exercises for both hands together.
Yeah. And the other one that I found very interesting very quickly is the one where you have two sticks together, but you're actually playing sort of flams together. Which I find very interesting and very musical. Yeah.
Yeah. This technique. I'm producing a book about it, but before going to push pull, I just want to show a little bit about slide technique.
Sure, go ahead. Yes, of course.
Technique that I just released the book.
Nice.
And I think in some weeks all the book in English will be available also in
fantastic.
Amazon. And now the book is about this technique. And this technique is based because there's a lot of... So Brazilians are renowned as drummers that find solutions for playing 16 notes, medium to fast 16 notes. So there's some guys that play differently. But I developed it from the reco. You know, reco is a type of guira, but made by wood.
Okay.
I used to play with this band Falamansa a lot.
Oh yeah.
There are some cuts in the piece of wood. They produce this. And I just thought, why not to adapt all these ideas that I've been doing with push pull, and just adapt to the slide. So the basic idea of slide technique is I also use American grip, but the palm a little bit to the right, like this, and I do the motion not moving like this or like this, this type of motion.
Mm-hmm.
So. And I've been playing a lot of. Even the flams, almost all the rhythms also are adapted in the book.
So when you do a flam with one stick, you're basically hitting the tip and then the shaft of the stick on the side to make a flam. Is that the idea?
So there's two different ways of doing with push pull and slide. With push pull, there's with the how can I say it?
Tip.
Appoggiatura. There's the grace note in the same direction of the note. If I'm doing the push note, that's arrows up. The grace note, the grace note in the same direction. This is one possibility. The grace notes are in the same direction. So.
Okay, I see.
And the same with the slide. Okay. And the other possibility for both techniques are the grace note in the reverse direction in relation to the main note. So if I'm doing the push note, the push note thing on push pull, the grace note will be a pull note. So or the reverse.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. You're doing it so fast that it makes a flan sound. I see.
Yeah, and the same with the.
Nice. I don't see it, but I hear it.
Yeah, for sure. But this is about slide, and there's a lot of videos of my playing on the Instagram and some, and dual grip. Just to finish this technical stuff, and I don't know if people are.
Oh, I'm sure people are loving this. I'm loving it anyways. Yes.
Nice. So I've been doing this I call dual grip. I played a little bit of marimba in the faculty, but just one stick at a time. But I realized that in the beginning, I started to use this because I was playing the wedding ceremonies and playing type of rolls.
Oh, and the cymbals and stuff.
Or the type of flirton. It was not a timpani, but it was a flirton. That kind of gigs that you get on the church and playing the ceremonies, wedding ceremony. So the first grip was this. This is a Keiko Abe's grip. I think is a Japanese marimba player. They use this. It's a very normal one. It starts with this. But sometimes after I realized that why not using this for playing samba also. And from this grip I moved to this. I separate a little bit. And the first move was this to this, keeping locked here and just playing to produce more sound. I was used to play with a singer here, famous singer here, playing with a great percussion player that calls Douglas Alonso. We used to play because it's thinking on closing to the roots. It's hard to play Brazilianism, really Brazilian rhythms close to the roots, just drums, because it's very important to have a drum set player, a pandeiro, a surdo,
all the elements.
All the elements. So we used to play, me and the percussion player. And at some point, the producer say, we just have budget for you. Play all your stuff you can at the same time. I was playing conga and sometimes, but together with the percussion player. But this point forward, I tried to produce more volume. So I moved this to this and
bigger,
sometime after I realized that I could simulate the flam sound, separating the grip was here. I just put separate and try to keep in parallel, but with the second one a little bit up.
I see.
to produce the Falamansa sound. So I start. But sometimes after I realized why not to choose some notes to play the Falamansa. So I kept this as a leader and this as a.
Okay, yeah, okay, very nice, nice.
And I started to develop this. So I also could play the push pull with this
one there,
this,
yeah.
And I started to develop all the stuff I called over, because sometimes I can lead with this, sometimes. And trying to patafalafa, for example.
Yeah.
And I started to adapt some rhythms and just, but in relation to the music, to the song, to the musicality. Not this. I'm always looking for a solution, for some ideas to play better some rhythm, or some. I need some. If I have some necessity to adapt some stuff, and I always trying to adapt it, but towards the musicality, never just technique itself.
Technique itself, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a difference. Is an important thing to mention.
Yeah.
And I've been adapted not just for the Brazilian rhythms. I've been doing almost every day a video. I found it was a good way to promote all the stuffs, and due to this, I'm doing a lot of master classes and some master classes tours outside Brazil. And this is it's been my challenging every day, trying to use these techniques not just towards to the musicality. So trying to adapt in a musical sense.
Yeah, no, it shows, and that's what really got my attention, because we're so inundated with technique, but just for technique's sake, not for musicality. And that's what I love. Yeah, and that's what I loved about you, is that, oh wow, he's using, like you just said, like double stick to get a bigger sound for either the hi-hat or some other percussion area. And so I thought that was really cool. And but even what you're doing it's amazing to watch, but I hear the music, like tuck, 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 like I hear what you're doing. So that's
my idea. Always must be musical, but must be a solution for some technical problem, because we are always adapting from the percussion ensemble to the drum set. My drum set is also, I play with cajon at the same time. There's some conga, there's some different stuffs, but these techniques can provide not just for Brazilian rhythms. I think the beauty of these techniques, and thinking that great guys as Antônio Sanches, Denis Chambers, DFK, all these guys love these ideas and say this is musical. That's the difference of this technique. So, and I'm very glad that these great guys are enjoying, and so I think I'm on the right way. It's not technique by technique. Just
but it's getting a lot of praise. So congratulations for finding an interesting, creative way for finding solutions to a problem, basically. So it's very nice. And exactly. And you answered the other question, was what, besides Brazilian music, you can use it in other styles. And as you demonstrated, it can be used just for jazz. If you're doing a fast hip hop thing, sort of half hip hop stuff.
Some kind of rap, some kind of drum and bass
stuff. And
my idea is that these techniques can one day be studied in some drum schools as an extended hand technique, as people say in the academy. It's not a regular ones as fingers and molar, but can be used as this is also possible. Let's see some ideas.
A different sound. Basically, different sound than Mahler or that sort of thing. You're very nice. Well, thank you for taking the time for showing us.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So the other questions I have is, if someone wants to, say from North America, not from Brazil, wants to explore Brazilian music and wants to know more about it, what would you recommend? What would be like the point of entry for us to like look into, or bands to look into, or musicians to look into? Because like I say, I'm getting back into Brazilian music, and I find that interesting for other people to know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I created six or seven playlists on Spotify, open
Nice.
playlists that I used to suggest to all the students that ask me. I can send you through WhatsApp or whatever.
Oh, cool. So I'll share that with everybody. Yeah.
You can send. But the basic idea is to understand the roots, understand the basics of each rhythm, from what percussion instrument it came, so you can understand, because it's not all the rhythms were created on percussion instruments. So I played some percussion also, and I think the best way to understand and internalize all these feelings is or to play percussion as well, understand each rhythm, or at least understand each line of each rhythm, and listen to good references in the with classical recordings or classical videos. It's important to go to the roots first. I think it's the same with the jazz or rhythm blues or groove.
Yeah, it's to
have to go to the basics, and after see the innovations. But
but it's funny because we talked to Alfredo Reyes Jr. Recently for the podcast, and that's what he was saying. He's like, what I'm trying to do on my drum set is 3 different guys with percussion instruments doing it together, and I have to do it on myself on just one piece of instrument. And he's like, sometimes I don't know, so I understand what you're saying. It's the same thing for Brazilian music. It's trying to take all these different percussions into one instrument, and
for sure. Because think for example, in the low tones, there's not just a surdo playing the. There's rebolo, repique de mão, tam. There's 4 or 5 different low sound percussion instruments that play this basic groups, and the same with the 16 notes. There are pandeiro, reco, tamborim, pensar. So there are a bunch of different instruments playing the lows, the mediums, and the highs. So as much as you can understand these variations and have in mind when you are playing, you can improvise and thinking as a percussion symbol, not just
as a drummer.
As a drummer.
But that's what I find fascinating about that music. It's uplifting, and there's so many elements going at the same time, and that's what it's really cool.
Exactly.
Very nice. So of course you teach at a distance. If people are interested to have lessons from you, they would go to your website, I imagine.
Some or Instagram, just send me a message. I've been doing lessons on Zoom. Students from Japan, from US, from Europe.
Oh, nice.
It's just a matter of organize the
time
zone. And I have beyond these 3 books, these 4 books, I have a entire course online course about push-pull. You can find on my link tree on Instagram. It's in Hotmart. There's 51 videos about all the exercise. Even on all these books, there are some QR codes that you can see some videos of this course. You can, and in the push-pull book, there are 11 videos of this 51. That's the entire course. The whole experience is the book and the course, because there are much more exercise in the book, but there's a good videos that you can see the movement on the course. And even on the slide, you have some QR codes. And just on the Brazilian book, the black book that's about Brazil, there are some just audios you can download, because it was some time ago.
Okay.
But some editions, new editions in the future. I'm planning to do record videos also.
Cool. So what are your plans for the next year, for 2025? Is it more shows? Is it more educational? Is it more workshops? I'm curious.
Yeah, this year I've been playing this year. Last year I did six time trips outside Brazil. Was very huge. I did some good, very nice drum festivals. And this year I decided to stay till April here. So now in April, next April, I'm going to Italy, Greece, and Germany. Probably Swiss. But in the next semester, we are planning to move to Italy in the second, me and my wife. Because I'm going many times all the year. So we are planning to stay there instead of stay here and go.
Okay, go
We can
there.
stay
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
came here to see the family. Just change the headquarters. So the idea is is this year is to move and do the CD with the trio.
Okay.
And maybe go again to these platforms. I also had a course that will be released in Open Mind in Drumming. There's a platform from Poland.
Okay.
We recorded with the guys. Klaus Hezer is one of the guys of this.
Klaus, yes.
Yeah,
I love Klaus. We had him on the podcast.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah,
And
love Klaus.
Till now is April and May. I'm going outside. And maybe June and July being here to play all the shows done during the San João party.
Okay.
Then second semester, August and September, go to Europe and stay there. From there, go to a different place.
Okay. Well, if you want to stop by Canada, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Not yet. You'll get a shock. I don't recommend right now, but maybe June, July, August.
Yeah,
be good weather if you.
I was there in 2023 with Alex we go to Seattle and after went to Vancouver.
Nice.
And did one master class in Vancouver in a little school.
Yeah.
And went to Abbotsford to record the drum mill.
The drum mill. Yes, very nice. Yeah. And which you can go check, of course, on YouTube and Drumio, the things Ramon and Alex doing some very crazy stuff on Drumio. Even though they're sort of our competitor, it's okay. We'll we'll promote it anyways because they're good friends. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with us. I appreciate it quite a lot. It's very nice of you to spend some time with you.
Thank you very much.
And I hope the move goes well in Italy. For me, if I move to Italy, I'll become humongous because the food there is just amazing. So
yeah, for sure.
But I hope everything goes well for you for 2025. And again, if you want to reach Ramon, basically it's RamonMontagner.com, I think is your website.
Yeah, exactly. And you can find on my Instagram, Ramon Montagner. It's easy to find.
So Instagram or of course the website, and I'm sure Ramon will be happy to receive you for any classes or his books or anything he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, for the course.
And you can find all the books on Amazon also.
Yeah.
You can on my website. I have this special edition with all the books because it's a type of spiral. The paper is better, but in the Amazon they sell a good version.
Okay.
Very honest to wear. It's more simple than this special edition, but it works the same way.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ramon, and thank you so much for taking the time. Enjoy your weather, and hopefully we'll be able to touch base and see you, and I'll follow you around wherever you go.
For sure, Denis. Thank you for all your audience. Nice to be here. Thank you, Denis.
Fantastic. Have a good evening, sir.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Take care. So there you go. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Ramon, for basically coming to our show. Come back next week for another episode. Until then, all the best and take care. Bye-bye.